Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into it. Let's talk Major League Baseball. We're going to get into the April 1st plays, but before we do, I do have some bad news for you guys. This will be the last video that we do here on YouTube. Shutting down shop. It's been a fun run, but we are done within kind of sports gambling. I'm giving it up. April Fools, just had to do it to you guys, but that's something I couldn't resist. But anyways, welcome back. Let's get into it. Yesterday, just kind of a quick little recap. Took it to them a couple runs away from having that 5-0 sweep. Great day overall, though, 4-1 within my betting card for my best bets. If you haven't done so already, guys, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free to do so. I get to see all you guys that just basically fast forward to the end. I get to see the metrics. I know how long people actually watch the video, and that's okay. I do talk a little bit too much, but yeah, we talk sports every single day, so I appreciate you all tuning in. If you do want to subscribe to the channel, it's completely free to do so, and I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. But make sure to hit that like button. That doesn't cost a thing. All it does is tell YouTube you like what we're putting out here at TBM Sports. Okay, so yeah, outstanding kind of day yesterday. We will take those. We're gonna have some bad days along the way. Just gonna keep it 100. But I do want to get into my plays for tonight's card. I will have 4 picks. We're gonna kind of dabble into attacking a game instead of taking an over. We are going to take some props in that market. Also, I'm going to keep shooting some angles that we have been having some success on. And also, I do want to kind of tell you guys that I am out of the office right now. We have kind of have a mobile day, so I wanted to get my plays out sooner than later. It won't be a full breakdown. We're going to do that from time to time, but it won't be like the full card where we run the board, but we will just get into the picks. And I appreciate you guys understanding how tough it is sometimes to manage and juggle schedules. Okay, so the first play that we are going to get into, this is going to be one where we talk about a couple games first. That's going to be the Yankees and what we are seeing within kind of the new look Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, the torpedo bats. I just wanted to talk about this briefly. It's been something where I think people are starting to catch on a little bit. It's become public mainstream. We were on them for a couple days before the books really adjusted. And now we get Corbin Burnes, a familiar foe for the AL East within the Snakes, playing in Yankee Stadium. It's going to be kind of fascinating to see how this unfolds. You know, he does pitch to the long ball occasionally. That's been kind of a knock on him. So I almost thought about it. I'm probably sure it's going to hit, but I'm not going to take it within the Yankees over their team total. I told you guys we were going to attack that, but I just kind of want to see where we're at. I don't really think the market has adjusted fully, but I do think this is kind of where we have to take a wait-and-see approach when it comes to that game. So I'm going to stay away from the Diamondbacks and the Yankees, but I do lean still to that Yankees team total going over, okay? Also, I do think we get a high game script. There's a young pitcher going for the Yanks. If they do kind of start hitting the ball, we might end up having like a 4-4 game. It gives us that potential to go over the team total at plus money for the Yankees. So keep that in mind as well, okay? The other game that we are going to talk about, this is something where we are going to have a best bet in, okay? We are going to take 2 props. We're going to take James Wood as well as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Within the Nationals-Blue Jays game. We're in a dome. I'm not concerned about the weather. I think this is something where the pitching matchup is favorable for both sides. Jose Barrios had a horrible first outing, usually good early on in the season. But for Vladdy, we're going to go over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And also on the other end of that argument, James Wood, we're going to take over 1.5 hits, RBIs, hits, runs, RBIs. And that will give us plus money opportunity on both of those bets. Not going to parlay them, going to take them individually. I think we see a lot of runs, but outside of that, guys, it's a plus matchup, I think, for both hitters. So give me some James Wood and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in that showdown up there in Canada for today's props. So those will be 2 bets that we will have, okay? Next, I am going to be taking a bet within the Padres and the Cleveland Guardians once more. This is something where I look into the potential for the Guardians just to do absolutely some damage here early on. I think that they're being a little bit undervalued, but I'm not fully in love with kind of repeating that bullpen performance that we had last year. I think that's been kind of bringing them down a little bit early on. I know they started off hot 2-1 against KC. Some people have them penciled in as the divisional winner. For me, guys, I'm going to be taking the team total for the Padres here. You can find plus money on it once again. Take that over 4.5 runs for the Padres. I think that with what we get with Logan Allen going for the guards and the hot bats for the Padres, I think the ball is going to be flying out west. Give me the Padres team total going over 4.5 once more. Look to repeat what we had going on yesterday. The bats are hot. Let's just ride it till it bucks and give me the Padres. Like I said, team total over 4.5 runs against my Guardians. Okay. Lastly, we're going to talk about that late night game within the Braves and the Dodgers. Braves looking for their first win. We will talk kind of what we have going on because Jurickson Profar is now going to be missing the postseason. He's going to get an 80-game ban for PEDs. Can't quite frankly understand why people still take PEDs. I do understand, but it just doesn't make any sense. Never got paid $1 to play baseball and would never have taken PEDs. I can't really, quite frankly, put my hands around that, especially coming off of a very substantial kind of, acquisition for the Braves, really letting down those guys in the locker room in that regard. It's a horrible story, but also Freddie Freeman on the other end for the not the Braves, but for the Dodgers, not going to play against his Braves, his former club. Was looking forward to that, but apparently fell in the shower. So who knows? Also, kind of just, same old thing for the Braves. They're having some, adversity early on in the season. And on top of that, guys, they cannot win a baseball game, okay? So I know it's been a tough start for them, right? Starting against the Padres and then the Dodgers. They got their work cut out for them. But as we look at it today, guys, they're looking for their first win. They are rolling out Chris Sale, which is very promising for the Braves. But also the Dodgers are pitching getting May back, which he's had a nice spring. So it's going to be fascinating to see this matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Although we won't get Freddie Freeman in it, it still will deliver, in my opinion. And instead of kind of doubting Chris Sale and the Braves, which I do think the Dodgers still get this one done, we're going to look into an alternate total here on BetMGM. I believe it's the high minus 120s. We're going to lay the under 8. Okay, I'm going to take a half run in this spot. It's at 7.5, but we're going to take the under 8 Dodgers and the Braves, and just hopefully we get a little bit of a shutdown pitching performance on both sides, and we do cash that under. The Dodgers have been known to do that. I love betting me some Dodgers. They're on late, so on the East Coast, I get to watch them a little bit after my early games, and I've grown fond of kind of betting systems with them. They always, if they're going to cover a game, it's usually within the red line, and they are not kind of unfamiliar to covering a lot of 3-1, 2-0. They win with some low-scoring games. Yes, they have a fantastic lineup with a lot of, star power and run efficiency, but it's just something where, for some odd reason, sometimes the Dodgers just can't score any runs. So I'm going to look for it in this game. Maybe the Braves win, scratch one out. They're desperate. They got to win one. But I do think that the under 8 is the best bet that I can make on today's card. Give me the Dodgers, Braves, under 8, a little late night affair out there on the West Coast, okay? So that's kind of what we have going on. Another play outside of potentially that Yankees game that I was interested in. We could look into the early, I think it's the early game within the Mets and the Marlins. Saw kind of covering that run line yesterday with the Mets, how that could be, it was just a good spot. Okay. The Mets were desperate. They had their arm going against a horrible kind of matchup for the Marlins, and, getting double-digit runs definitely does help that cause early. I think you could see some of the same today. I think the Mets could catch fire. They were hitting, their batting average for their lineup. It was just completely underperforming. I think they do get hot. I think Soto has a big game tonight, and I think that we see a little bit of some of the Metropolitans really kicking it in gear, going against Sandy Alcantara for the Miami Marlins. So that's where I'm at. Those are some of my bets and leans. The 4 plays that we are going to be making, though, we're going to go Padres over team total, under within the Dodgers and Braves, and then taking Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and James Wood over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs for James Wood, respectively. Okay, so those are my 4 best bets. It's kind of a weird kind of turnaround card. I'm not too much in love with it, but I did like a couple props. If you do kind of sense where I'm at within that Nationals and Blue Jays game, it would kind of lend toward the conversation of potentially going over in the runs in that, and that's kind of how I feel about it. But I think that, we'll attack it from a prop perspective, because you could just, end up going a 2 for 4 with a ribby and maybe scratch one across and cover it in a low-scoring game and just kind of have not so much a team performance or effort within scoring runs. So kind of just sometimes I like to mix it up. Those are my best bets, though. On the side total line of it, we are going to go under 8 Dodgers Braves, and the Padres team total going over 4.5 within their matchup against Logan Allen and the Cleveland Indians, Guardians, whatever you want to call it, but we all know it's the Indians. All right, so have a great rest of your day. Appreciate it, and good luck with your picks. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.